Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. Floyd Mayweather, who is still out there getting copious amounts of money by fighting exhibitions, right? Against like names that we would never have thought years ago that he would be fighting, like YouTubers, social media stars, and John Gotti the third, right? John Gotti the third. That name just brings attention. John Gotti, right? One of the Teflon Don. But this is his son, I believe, or grandson. I don't know, man. I don't really know. But he's a boxer, and Mayweather went in there and had a rematch with him. But the big thing was is Floyd changed referees in the middle of the fight. Right? He fired a ref, and the new ref came in. Man, what did you think of this whole scenario?
Man, I don't even know what to think about it. It's like well, I've never seen that happen before, for starters. Um, if if you like take it seriously as like oh, this opens the door to it's like, is a referee allowed to tag out and tag in? Like that would be,
Yeah,
like mid-fight. That would be interesting because I know they switch referees in between each fight, in like a UFC event or something, right? It's not the same ref that does every single fight on the like main card, for example. But to do it mid-fight is interesting. It'd be kind of there's like I can see where people can be like, oh, okay, well, if you replace it with a better ref, then why not? But I guess the counter argument is, well, what if the second ref is even worse? So it's like, well, shit, Not that I watched the fight, so like I'm not completely sure how the ref ended up performing, so to speak. But um, but yeah, it's like that's an odd that feels like an odd thing where I'm not convinced on the pros and cons of doing that outside of getting a ton of attention, right? Like in the sense that now we're talking about it.
well, it's an exhibition though. Like in an exhibition, it's
Yeah,
exhibition. It doesn't go on anybody's record. It's almost like a sparring session. Basically, it's for entertainment.
yeah,
So something
right.
like this happening, it's almost like you know most likely, what I mean, like Mayweather's the one that's bringing the money, right? He's the one that's bringing the
Mhm.
attention. It's not John Gotti the third. Come on, let's be
Of
real.
course.
So if Mayweather decided this in the middle of an exhibition to walk out the ring and stop the fight, because this happened in the second round, right? The fight was just starting off. So if he decided to say,
Hmm.
"Hey, fuck this ref is shit," um, I'm gone. Like a lot of people will be pissed
Right.
off because they came there to watch Floyd Mayweather put on an exhibition, right? Put on a clinic. And if they
Mm.
don't get to get what they
Hmm.
wanted, out of their money, there's gonna be a lot of backlash, right? So what's better? That shows you how much control Floyd Mayweather has with these like, with
Right.
negotiations and like all everything, like how the fights are put together. And I think it's phenomenal that he's doing it because he's just going around making tons of money with full control, and no one's gonna say
Hmm.
anything about it, right? Like no one's gonna even like blink an eye because it's an exhibition. There's no need for like
Right.
an authority figure basically. So Floyd could pretty much put his brother as the ref and and just fight, right? It's just like the fight. If the fight, clearly Floyd Mayweather won the whole fight. You know what I mean? Because the exhibition, there's no point of him going out there and knocking a guy out in the first round. People want to see him move around and do a little showboating and have
Yeah.
some fun, right? Not just like go in there, boom, first round, chin the guy, and then like, oh, that's what you guys came for. No, that's not what they came for. He's not Mike Tyson, right? It's not Mike Tyson. That's what
Right.
people came for when Mike Tyson
Yeah.
fought. But yeah, changing the
Absolutely.
like if it was a real sanctioned fight and this actually happened, then there would be massive issues. Like imagine if that,
Mm.
like if this was a sanctioned fight and Floyd decided the ref wasn't right and he switched the ref or he told them to switch the ref and they did that. Like what kind of repercussions do you think that
Mm.
there would be with that?
Holy crap. Yeah. Imagine like, it'd be like Conor McGregor, right? Like just kicking out the current MMA ref or whatever
Like Herb
to
Dean,
like,
like Conor
oh
McGregor's in
yeah,
the
there
middle
would
of a
be
fight.
outrage.
He's like,
Yeah.
Herb Dean, I don't like you. Get out. Like, let's bring in another guy in, and it just brings another guy in, and he likes that guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
insane. Like then all this stuff would come up, like fight fixing, referee,
Yeah, all this like
tampering.
yeah, all the conflict of interest that's already currently in MMA, it's like, well, that just happened again. So then, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there'd be a lot of sort of allegations, accusations of like, hey, it's like clearly the first ref wasn't your ref, so you tried to get the second ref in that was your ref, so you could, win a close fight or whatever, if that's the case, right? So exhibitions, it'd be kind of funny to see, right? Do they has anyone had an MMA exhibition before that you can think of? Like
Hmm.
nothing's coming to my head.
I'm pretty sure there has been. It's just nothing that's like too prominent. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure there has been
Right.
MMA exhibitions. But what was I thinking? I was thinking something about Floyd. Yeah, yeah. What was like another thing is confusing to me is like I understand Floyd brings in a lot of eyes and stuff like that, and people want to see him fight. But when was the last time you watched a Floyd Mayweather fight? Do you even remember?
Um, Gosh, I think I didn't even watch the McGregor one. I think I was in college when the Mayweather Pacquiao fight was going down, and I was looking at like Twitter updates.
Hmm.
But like had I had like pay-per-view or whatever, I totally would have watched that one. But the other ones I wasn't really paying attention to. Not really. It's none of the exhibitions, more or less.
Yeah, I think I definitely because the thing is the McGregor fight wasn't an exhibition. It was like it's a complete sanctioned match. So that one I
Hmm.
did watch that, and then I think the only exhibition I did watch was the one when he fought Tension in Japan. Because that was
Mm.
interesting because it was tension. He's like the next, heir apparent for Asia in striking or boxing or whatever, and he was so good at that time. But other than that, I don't
Yeah.
I don't understand like how Floyd is like finagling all these like exhibitions and making all this money. I think like just regular people like to watch Floyd. I don't really know people in the combat community that's like really into watching Floyd's exhibitions. Do you?
Mm.
Is that a topic of like
Not that I
conversation
can
at the
think of.
gym?
I don't remember the last time Floyd's name got brought up. Before he made headlines for kicking out the ref, but yeah, I not particularly like unless it's in the context of studying some element of boxing, like really good defense. But outside of that, I haven't heard his name. No.
Yeah, it's we're talking about him because of the referee situation, but we wouldn't be talking about him if that didn't happen. Let's just be real. Like we wouldn't be like, oh
Right.
yeah,
Right.
recently just last weekend, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Defeated John Gotti III in the rematch. And you're like, that doesn't even sound like a real fucking thing that's going on. It sounds fake to me. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like some Black Mirror shit. Like
Yeah.
what the hell are they doing with this world? You know what I mean? But but yeah,
Yeah.
it's just funny. It's just funny to me that Floyd is just getting away with this, and good on him.
Mhm.
Like me, if anybody knows me, if you're hustling and you're making money and you're not really like ripping people off and like doing criminal activities and you're doing it, like try to do it legit. Hey, I could respect that. You know what I mean? I could respect the hustle, and I think that's what Floyd is doing. He's using his status to squeeze out as much as he can until he cannot squeeze out anything. And it's coming close to an end, I think.
Mhm.
I think it's coming close to an end because
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like this, like people are not going to want this anymore, right? This is something that Floyd maybe it's going to backfire on him in the future. What do you think?
Yeah. You know what? Like thinking about it that way, it's pretty interesting because you know how some fighters they're you feel that they're way past their prime and they should not be taking any more, like proper sanctioned fights. So like maybe Tony Ferguson like comes to mind, for like a name. But then what if this opens up a new avenue where you officially retire when you're on top of the game, when you're
Mm.
undefeated, when you've just won a championship or whatever, and then And then knowing that you're past your prime, then you take on exhibition fights. So then, like, the damage is minimal. You still have a good image of, being this great person who's, reached the pinnacle, and then just be like, all right, well, I've done that. I don't want to take any more damage, and I don't want my image to go down as I lose because, father time just goes after everybody. And then they just do exhibition fights and stuff the same way Floyd Mayweather's been doing, where it's like, all right, cool. Now I can get my payday. I can still have a fairly good image. I can stay active somewhat, even though it's not, considered. People won't consider it um, with the same seriousness as a title fight. So I guess it's a cool um, business move by professional fighters if that becomes more and more popular, where they can just kind of separate the legit competition from like we're here for entertainment and just to watch one of the greats just move around a little bit, get a nice payday, so that he doesn't have to, let's say, struggle financially, like after the peak of his career is over. So if I look at it that way, then I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe this isn't such a bad thing.
Well, Floyd made a lot of fucking money, in his career. It's not like you cannot compare him to other
Yeah,
people, right? Other people like struggling. That's why they're doing
yeah,
exhibitions. That's a different story than Floyd, where he's making hundreds of millions of dollars
hmm,
in certain fights, right? So yeah, it's just,
right,
don't feel sorry for Floyd. That's at the end of the day, don't feel sorry for Floyd. He's putting on the
hmm,
biggest con in sports history, maybe, with these exhibitions. Who knows, right? Who knows? I'm not accusing him of
yeah,
anything because he's not doing nothing wrong. But I'm just saying he's just like, he's just squeezing as much as he can out this fight business. And hey, you need to, because this fight business is unforgiving. We know it. We've seen many
hmm,
people get just swallowed up, chewed up, thrown up, and then tossed out, right? And ran over and, can crushed. So it is what it is.